Everyone says you need 1 crore to be happy. They're lying to you. Most Indians are stuck in an EMI mirage, paying for cars, gadgets, and lifestyles that are silently draining their future. But there's a number, a much smaller number, that actually rewires your brain and stops the 3 a.m. anxiety. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what it is. I'm Ashesh, and on Money Simplified, I break down the brutal math behind wealth building for the average Indian. If you want real numbers, not just inspiration, you're in the right place. Let's get into it. Everyone tells you that you need 1 crore to be happy. They are wrong. There is a much smaller number, just 5 lakh rupees, that actually stops your 3 a.m. anxiety. This isn't just an arbitrary figure that financial gurus made up. There is actual biology and brutal mathematics behind why this specific milestone fundamentally transforms how you navigate through life. Picture this scenario. You are lying awake at 3 in the morning, staring at the ceiling, and your mind is racing through every possible financial disaster that could strike tomorrow. Your car could break down, your parents might have a medical emergency, you could lose your job. Sound familiar? Most people think financial milestones are just numbers to make the rest of us feel inadequate. But the reality is that the first real game changer in the Indian context isn't a massive retirement corpus or a luxury apartment. It is that first buffer that changes your brain chemistry. I have analyzed the data of the average Indian, from the real cost of those tempting 0% EMIs to why your fixed deposit is actually losing you money in the long run. My goal isn't to sell you a course or a dream, it is to show you the specific order of operations to go from survival to true freedom. You see your neighbor's brand new SUV and you think they are winning. But I have seen the bank statements of the Indian middle class, and the truth is terrifying. We are living in an EMI mirage where the system is designed to capture every rupee through clever schemes and status purchases. Today, we are pulling back the curtain on why the middle class is actually a debt trap and how you can beat the average. The transformation begins with what I call the 1 lakh buffer. This isn't just about math, it is about biology. Neuroscientists have found that financial security reduces cortisol levels, your body's primary stress hormone. When you have zero savings, every minor inconvenience feels like a potential catastrophe. A check engine light isn't just an annoyance, it is a countdown timer to financial disaster. But when you have that first lakh saved, your relationship with risk changes. You are not necessarily going to quit your job tomorrow, but you finally have the mental bandwidth to think beyond just surviving until the next salary credit. This shift from panic to mild annoyance has ripple effects throughout your entire life. You sleep better, you are more productive, and you are more patient with your family because you aren't constantly gasping for financial air. Once you have that psychological breathing room, you have to face the financial cancer of high interest debt. In India, we are often sold the dream of easy credit, but the math is brutal. If you are carrying credit card debt at 36% interest while trying to invest in a mutual fund offering 12%, you are essentially trying to fill a bucket with massive holes in the bottom. You are running a marathon with a backpack full of rocks. The debt avalanche method is the only logical path. You list every debt, from that 14% personal loan to the astronomical credit card balance, and you attack the highest interest rate first. Mathematically, paying off a high interest loan provides a guaranteed return that no stock market can match. Every rupee used to clear that debt is essentially earning you a 36% return, guaranteed and tax-free. But perhaps the most destructive wealth destruction tool in the modern Indian household is the car payment trap. We have been convinced that our vehicle is an extension of our identity. Your truck or SUV isn't just transportation, it's a statement that you have arrived. But the automotive industry has become incredibly sophisticated at tapping into your psychological triggers. They don't sell you a car, they sell you a lifestyle. The reality is that the total cost of ownership for a popular Indian SUV, including insurance, service, fuel, and the massive hit of depreciation, often exceeds the original purchase price over just 7 years. Most people focus so intensely on the monthly EMI that they completely ignore the opportunity cost. If you took that same monthly payment and invested it in a simple index fund, you could build life changing wealth. Instead, most of us are paying for the privilege of driving an asset that will be worth a fraction of its cost in a decade. As you navigate this journey, you enter the tax optimization zone. In India, we often view things like Section 80C or the national pension system as mandatory chores, but these are actually your first steps into strategic investing. It is about moving from mandatory savings to strategic wealth building. You maximize your tax advantaged accounts before you even look at taxable ones. This is where you stop feeding your money to the system and start letting it compound for you. And here is a secret insight that most people miss. Once you hit a significant savings milestone, 90% of your daily micro decisions become irrelevant. You stop burning mental energy deciding between generic or name brand groceries because you have freed up massive mental bandwidth for strategic growth. You stop sweating the small stuff and start thinking about the big moves that actually move the needle on your net worth. The final payoff isn't just a number on a screen. Real wealth in India isn't owning a house that the bank actually owns for 30 years. It is what I call walking away money. It is the 20 lakhs in your account that gives you the power to say no. No to a toxic boss, no to a bad business deal, and no to a lifestyle that doesn't serve you. Equity you cannot touch isn't freedom. Margin in your monthly budget is freedom. When you have money in the bank, you carry yourself differently. You negotiate better because you aren't operating from a place of desperation. This confidence leads to better job opportunities and better life outcomes. You walk into a room differently when you know you don't desperately need the deal. So, if you are currently staring at a bank balance that makes you anxious, do not panic. Start small and stay consistent. The person you become while saving your first few milestones is infinitely more valuable than the money itself. You are not just accumulating rupees, you are fundamentally rewiring your brain and building the most important financial habits you will ever own. The choice is yours. You can continue to live in the EMI mirage, or you can do the math that no one else wants to do and choose a life of true financial margin. Your future self is counting on the decisions you make today. Trust the math, respect the biology, and start building your foundation.